Professor LaFaye, and we're in a week for revision. If the interface looks different than your class, please know it is because it is from an earlier version of either your class or a similar class. But I wanted to go through revision week so everybody knows what to expect. I wanted everybody to take a look at this take on re-seeing revision, which is from my YouTube page, Sylvanosity. So this gives you a look at how to examine revision from the perspective of re-seeing your writing. So that's the first step for this week. The second step is to look at an example of revision. So here is a poem by a student, The Steps of Caution, the original version. I stare at the case, 14 steps up to a street I can't see. Too many people, noises that hollow me. I go inside. The original version doesn't really, we get a sense that something's wrong. We get a sense that this person doesn't want to go outside, but we don't know why, we don't know where. So we're inviting the poet to expand. The expansion, the stair, both in sight and step, is about a case of ascending blocks made of cement and a cemented, escalating mental barrier. 14 steps up to the street above, 5 steps to calm an impending attack. The footfalls assaulting the sidewalk above, laying ground fire, pelting into my nerves, sending me scuttling backwards against the door I swore I'd leave behind today. But voices crawl down the walls, echoing in my basement stairwell, inviting me back into the silent, solitary apartment. So you'll notice that this person points out that the case in this case is meant to have double meaning. It's a case of social anxiety. It's a staircase that works both as a physical and a mental barrier to them leaving their apartment. We also have a much stronger sense that it's an apartment, clarifying the door behind them, the staircase, the direct reference to the apartment. Notice that we have a lot of strong verbs to make the emotion here more concrete. The footfalls like ground fire, assaulting the sidewalk, and lots pelting my nerves, sending me scuttling backwards. Also, I realized I didn't do the ending of the poem. So the silent, solitary apartment behind the door I close against the outside world. Notice the line breaks to make world bigger against bigger. I close. The line breaks are intentional and guiding us to feel as enclosed and endangered as this person feels. They say tomorrow is a new day, start of a new a stanza, because it's a new concept. But will I be a new man? AKA, will I have the strength to be able to leave my apartment? And the new man is emphasized as something proper, something bigger, something named by having it capitalized, even though it's not the beginning of a new sentence. So here we can see global revision. This second version of this poem is way expanded and gives us a clear understanding of what it feels like to be in this character's position. So this gives us an idea of what the professor, me, is looking for as we revise. The next piece here is a discussion about revision. You have to do a bio sign before you do that. But you're going to read Coates' chapter on the art of revision and look for his best advice. Then look at how you can use it to revise the poem you've decided to revise. And you can just revise 2 or 3 lines from it, and then you're going to read and respond to at least 2 classmates. The initial post is due Monday. The response is due Wednesday. Those days and times may change depending on the semester of the class this is. The poetry revision itself is due by the end of the week. In the case of this semester, it's due by Friday. I give you directions on how to globally revise. I've also given you a article on poetry revision. If you click on that link, it gives you 5 ways to revise. But I've also created, using the poem we just looked at, I've created an example of what your revision should look like. You don't need this top header. This is what your header should look like. Your last name and page number should be on this side. You should identify the original poem. Then after that, you need professor feedback. Here's what I had to say about this poem the first time I saw it. Then the revision itself, where I have highlighted, or the student has highlighted, all the things that changed. At the end, we see that the student has added their ideas of what they learned by revising this particular piece. And that's what your revision should look like. So you have a video to watch, a revision to look at, an article on revising, a discussion of revision, and your own revision to do this week. If you have any questions, contact me at alexandria.lafaye@greenville.edu. I'm here to help. You guys have been doing some great work. And at the end of this week, you're halfway done with the class. Thank you so much, and have a great week.